Hello, welcome to NOLA Stamping. I'm Barb Baldwin, and today we're going to be making a fun card using a hidden paper pack. It is in the catalog, but they just show a couple little things done with it and a couple little of the sheets of paper. But I really love it. It's called Winter Meadows. And it is sort of a Christmassy, wintry sort of feel to the paper. And I'm just going to show it to you really quick. I really like how it's got like a nice like watercolor wash on the backs of all the papers. And then the fronts are like really nice and soft and have some really cool papers that would work for Christmas or for like winter or scrapbooking. It's just like a nice, gentle sort of paper, and I really like it. Okay, so to get started, we're gonna die cut a couple of things. We just need like a small little circle cut out of cherry cobbler. And then we're going to cut another piece that's just like nested, like slightly smaller than that first piece out of basic white. Lots of times whenever I'm die cutting, if I'm just doing one small little shape and I have other space available, I'll just cut like some generic greenery just to use that foliage in something else. Okay, so here we are with the Winter Meadow paper. And we're just going to cut a piece that is 5¼ inches wide by 2 inches tall. And that's with the berries. And then we're going to cut some of those lovely soft watercolor trees that are sort of like that teal color that is Lost Lagoon. And we're going to cut 2 pieces off of here. So one that's 5¼ by 3¾ of an inch, and then a square that is 2 inches by 2 inches. So, and you want to make sure of which direction the trees face. So, like this is one where the direction that they face will be important. For the 2 inch by 2 inch square, doesn't matter, but for the 5¼ inch, you want to make sure that the trees are facing up. For the cherry cobbler, we just need a little piece that is 5¼ inches by 2¼ inch. So it'll be just slightly bigger than the cherries piece, because this will be the frame for that. And then we want to go grab the Lost Lagoon, and we're going to use a bunch of this for like the frames of the other pieces of paper. So we need one that is 4 inches by 5¼ inch. And then we just need another piece that's 2¼ by 2¼ inch. Both of these are going to be frames for a couple of the other pieces for the front of the card. So next, we're going to do my favorite, stamping. So I pulled out the Lost Lagoon and the cherry cobbler, the 2 cardstocks that we used already, and a stamp set that I just recently got called Greetings of the Season. It's got like a bunch of different, like happy and merry. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp one part of the sentiment in Lost Lagoon and the other part in the cherry cobbler, and that'll pull in all of my different colors together. So since cherry cobbler is more of a traditional Christmassy holiday color, I went and did the interior sentiment using that. And that Greetings of the Season has like a couple of big sentiments, and so I like those for the interior of the cards. Okay, so let's put everything together. So all of the different cardstocks are like frames for the colored paper that we cut out. And so all you're going to do is use your tape runner to attach them, leaving a nice even border. And one thing you can do to make sure that your border is even is to just sort of, once you do the tape runner, you just sort of like match it up. And if you look in one corner and then the opposite corner, you'll see if it's lined up or not. And you can always use your scissors to sort of trim something off that didn't quite fit quite right. So, like, that's always a handy little hint too. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and attach that to the center. And I'm just eyeballing it here. You can definitely do some measuring if you want, but I always feel that like you can eyeball it close enough, and it'll look just as good. So we're going to take the opposite side of those watercolor trees, and we're going to use that for the base of the diamond that's going to go in the center of the card. And I like using my thumbs to sort of feel about where a thing should go. That way it'll sort of like, you kind of feel like it's in about the right, area. And it came out looking pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to use some 3D foam dots, some mini dimensionals, to pop up the tiny little sentiment that's going to go on the cherry cobbler circle. And I'm just, I probably over dotted, but I like it when they stay fluffy even through the mail. Okay, so then we're gonna attach all that to the card base. So I'm just using my tape runner again. Like this one, it would be easy to like mass produce several, and each one will just look slightly different than the other because of the way that the watercolor is on the cards. So I really like that. So when I put it down on the card base, I wasn't paying attention to the corners. So I want to go ahead and just sort of lift it up to make sure, since everything is sort of is definitely like even and noticeable, you'll notice if the card is crooked at all. So you want to take your time and go ahead and make sure that everything, like you check the corners and make sure that everything is squared up. So then we just have a couple last things to do. I'm going to use the mini dimensionals again, but I'm putting the dimensionals outside of the little cluster that I did for the top. So then if it goes through the mail, it'll squish thinner. So it might not be non-machinable like in the post office. And then I remember I cut out some of that foliage when at the beginning when I had the white, and I thought about I'd done that with a couple other things with the Lost Lagoon and the cherry cobbler. But I thought it was too busy. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and pull out, there's these cherry cobbler gems from Stampin' Up, where they have them in the group of 3, which I think looks adorable and is perfect for the holidays. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab some and add to this card. And I like a touch of bling, and then I went even further. So you can always embellish the card as you like. So thanks for coming and making this card with me. I hope that it inspires you to make your own, and you can always make it your own. Whatever you do, just stay crafty.